Hello everyone, Ace here, and today we are back with my Let's Play of the Asian campaign for the Art of Conquest expansion for Empire Earth. Alright, so here we are, the very final mission of this campaign and the entire game. Let's go ahead and jump right in, shall we?
Ominous rumblings from the USCN government continue today as President Allison Hardcastle makes it clear that the Earth will not recognize the newly organized Martian alliance. Kan Son-do, interim prime minister for the alliance, worried that the Earth did not take the alliance seriously, saying that a military solution to the problem would cost both sides dearly. When asked if he would reconsider a military action against USCN holdings on the moon, the prime minister would not comment. Sun-do also spoke about the building unity amongst the members of the Martian Alliance, but private observers have noted that spokespersons for both Baker's Ridge, the North American settlement, and Port Chernobyl, the Russian group, have remained publicly subdued about the prospects of a Martian alliance, and privately have voiced concerns regarding military maneuvers near their bases. Scattered reports of military engagements to the south and west of Ufar Base have been reported, but remain unverified at this time.
Alrighty. So here's the history for this very final mission. I'm not going to read it to you myself, but if you wish to read it on your own, and I do recommend doing so, feel free to pause the video now. And since it's so long, go ahead and pause it again. Alright, so let's have a look at some of the hints. Destroying the other colonies on Mars will give you access to their resources. Coercing them will give you a constant source of units. I actually preferred just simply coercing them rather than destroying them, because the constant supply of units is infinite, so if you get enough of them, you'll be able to just constantly use them to take out Phobos and Mars and all that. The Dune Patrol is an excellent weapon to use against USCN troops should they invade Mars. Okay. Your resources on Mars are limited. You will have to expand to survive. Phobos is an excellent source of gold and iron. That's completely true. We are going to have to go there. The moon can be used as a forward base for attacks on Earth. That's also true, although the same can be said for Phobos as well in its own way. Beware of Earth attacks using the wormhole to avoid your defenses. Well, yeah, kind of, except there's really 3 spots they like to attack, and if you set up defenses on those 3 spots, you can basically keep them from ever even reaching Mars anymore. The Yamato is on the other side of Mars, and will arrive to help you defend Mars. I believe it'll show up once we take Phobos. Your scientists are working on building an orbital space station, which will inspire your troops and provide morale to space units. Very useful again. So once we take out, once we secure the 2 allied, or once we gain an alliance with the 2 bases, we'll have to take Phobos, then the moon, then we'll have to capture the 3 capitals. You can see them here, here, and here. And there is 1 dock here we should take out too, just to make sure that Earth cannot build any more spaceships. But otherwise, we should be good to go.
Taken from USCN President Allison Hardcastle's address to the UN, which makes the USCN stance regarding the Martian uprising abundantly clear.
Esteemed members of the Council, my fellow Earthlings, we face a crisis heretofore unknown in our history. An attack from another world. And while it may be true that this other world is one we here on Earth have established, colonized, and settled, it can no longer be denied that this world is now our enemy. We cannot afford to be lax concerning this situation. If we do not take action at this immediate time, interests, both economic and politic, will force us to when we are not quite so prepared. The time to end this is now. We cannot afford to stand idly by any longer.
6 hours later, the following coded USCN transmission was intercepted by Mars-controlled spy satellites.
By order of the President,
Roger that, Command. Fleet proceeding to Harper's Nebula. We'll engage all enemy units. Listen up, people. Wedge formations. Swing them around to Mark 345. Bring them in low and fast. We need to take out that space dock. Hudson, will you get that thing in proper formation? You're flying like a broke-winged duck.
Oh, shucks, I'm trying, Lieutenant. You know this ain't a regular bird. This pile of junk handles like molasses in January.
Delta Kilo Niner. Delta Kilo.
Sorry.
Position and waiting final attack orders. Over. Okay, people. Let's try to do this one by the book. Form up nice and tight.
So they are doing a decent amount of damage from the looks of it. The moon's going to be still
Dock targeted.
difficult to take itself, but
Begin an attack run. Look at that thing burn.
so they've taken out most of the space turrets from the looks, as well as the space dock, which means that that's an area that we can land
At 12
at
o'clock.
later on.
Stay calm, everyone. I'm on him, Green 2. Right.
It looks like that's the end of our fleet.
Costly sacrifice, but now the moon is open to us. We must quickly build up another fleet and dispatch it to the moon, as we need it for a forward base of operations. We should also try to secure the small Martian moon, Phobos, as a launching pad for our fighters and bombers.
We must also be prepared for incursions from the enemy forces, my Khan. Port Chernobyl to the south and Baker's Ridge to the west both guard valuable resources.
Perhaps we can persuade them to join us in the glorious struggle against our oppressors.
And if we cannot,
We'll have to try alternate methods.
Alright. So we should have just enough troops to get Port Chernobyl on our side, I think.
as you wish.
As my ancestors will.
We'll get about 4 cyber ninjas, and that should, with the combined troops that we have here, the troops here are essentially going to be distraction for the cyber ninjas. That's the plan.
I obey your will.
So we do actually have a decent amount of stone, which means we can go ahead and build ourselves, or get the upgrade for our turrets to have increased range, or towers. Oh yeah, since we have these, we might as well upgrade the range on them as well. Alright, so I think we are good enough that we can actually What we'll do is we'll just move our guys, most of our troops, ahead of the Cyber Ninjas. So like I said, their goal is to act as a distraction. And the Cyber Ninjas themselves are hopefully going to be able to...
Ready, sir. Affirmative.
Assassination software online.
Alright, so how...
Ready, sir. Attack. Affirmative. Done. Ready, sir. Ready, sir. Of course, sir.
Tanks are going to be an issue, but if we can just get one of these guys... There we go. Now they're our allies.
Khan, our forces are victorious. The Port Chernobyl has agreed to provide us with ground reinforcements for the good of the cause.
Now, Baker's Ridge itself is actually even easier to get on your side. We didn't even lose a single Cyber Ninja, which is excellent. We are going to want to station our troops back up north here. All right. So let's go ahead and actually try getting Baker's Ridge on our side too. If we play our cards right, it should actually be entirely possible to essentially take Baker's Ridge without even fighting them. And the more good news is that we should even be able, we'll of course get even more reinforcements in the form of tanks. Now, I don't think either of these two allies will give you a supply of cybers, which is unfortunate, but otherwise, we've got infantry, we've got anti-air units, and we'll get tanks as well. Just like that.
Baker's Ridge has joined our cause. Their mechanized units will be joining ours shortly.
Cool.
Assassination software online.
So that is two allies that we've got on our side.
Our own house is in order. We should focus on the skies. Our hope is to use Mars as we wish. My family and fathers considered Phobos to be home soil, should it not still be so. And if this goal accomplished other ends, so much the better.
So we do have a fairly simple strategy here. We're going to try to rush to get to Phobos. We're going to try to rush. All right, now that we've got that settled, we'll just So we could do that, or we could do space unit self-heal, which actually sounds pretty good to me. How much resources do we have? Most of it still. These resource piles, of course, are pretty tiny. We do fortunately get some, or a fair amount of stone, so we can use that. But what I'm going to try to do is... I don't know why my throat's bothering me, but well. What I'm going to try to do is get some turrets built here, then there should be more built here, and then the third bit should be built right around here. The plan is very simple. We're going to just keep them from actually landing more troops, which means that any reinforcements we get, we can instantly send straight onto Phobos or the moon or Earth later on. So it is going to make it quite the cakewalk. Since reinforcements have finally started to arrive, once we get those reinforcements actually under our control, we'll simply send them up north. That'll block off the first batch of enemy reinforcements. And my plan is usually going to be build a town center, then build... Okay, so they did take out the dock, but they did end up, it looks like, losing most of their fleet in the process. Okay, so the first batch of Port Chernobyl's reinforcements, along with... Or the first batch of Port Chernobyl's proper troops showed up, which is good news. Okay, so we will get 15 citizens, enough to essentially turn... I mean, yeah, oh. So we do have some tanks to deal with. Actually, since we have more reinforcements... Alright, so we can actually deal with the first... First we have to deal with these guys themselves, because this is... the garrison guarding the particular landing zone. Okay, so this is another force attacking us. Alright, so we'll just plop down. Go with 3. That should cover everything we need. And the extra range on these things... Ooh. More infantry and more tanks. Good news is this should be the first wave of enemy troops at least. Or the first batch of enemy reinforcements dealt with. Good.
Ready, sir. Of course, sir.
You know, if we're not able to actually build it, we'll just put it somewhere else, like over here. Then we can build a town center. We are actually running a little low on wood, but that is a-okay because I can simply build one more town center, this time place it further south where all this carbon is. And I would still have at least 5 citizens to gather more wood. Alright, so that's that batch of reinforcements dealt with. And even more showing up, but still, because I'm constantly getting reinforcements from both Port Chernobyl and Baker's Ridge, I am perfectly fine and happy to continue just doing this.
Ready, sir.
Can I assist? Waiting orders. We are under attack.
Of course, sir.
Awaiting guard.
Of course, sir.
Excellent, which means that we'll actually be able to move some... Oh.
I cannot fail.
Yeah, I better get you back there just in case they try to ruin my day. Okay, so they are going to send even more troops after me.
Standing by.
Affirmative.
We are under attack. Let's go.
Yes, Commander. Affirmative. Ready, sir.
Roger.
Ready, sir.
Roger.
Alright, so we'll actually try to get our guys north of where most of their troops are marching through to hopefully
Ready, sir.
prevent us from actually getting into another protracted battle.
Yes, Commander. Ready, sir. Yes, Commander.
Awaiting orders.
Can I assist? We are under attack.
Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out, does it?
We are under attack.
10-4.
Alrighty. That force has been dealt with. There's their new troops.
Yes, Commander.
Roger.
No! Ah, I lost most of them. Wait a sec. I actually have enough I can still build a town center. Okay, so I'll do that real quick. All I have to do is get the town center built up and populate it, and we should be golden.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
Alrighty.
Yes, Command. Affirmative.
Alright. Problem solved. And this hopefully should be more than enough to actually deal with the troops from this area, which means that we only have one more set, and it's the tanks, but if we stop them, we'll be in completely good for essentially the rest of the game to just sit back on that front and just constantly use the reinforcements to ruin the days of anyone that dares show up. Now, how many of these guys do we actually... We got more tanks? I'm actually considering... Let's see what the heavy mortars take. Gold for the range. We are out of gold. But we actually have quite a bit in supply still. Well, I actually want to prioritize getting to Phobos before actually even upgrading these guys, just because of how limited resources are right now. I could probably improve their area of effect with the hopes that it would work out rather nicely. Okay, so what I'll do is I will actually devote a few additional troops to... Actually, we already have 2 additional citizens, so I could save myself a little time. I want at least 10 citizens just in case things go sour again. But the plan is going to be to take out the tanks and then that are guarding that landing zone and then just mop up.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
I'm actually considering...
Yes, Commander.
Okay, so I know from the way these waves work, usually... There we go. Do I actually want to invest? You know what? I will actually invest in another turret just in case, because they are getting a little bit too close for comfort. So that should take care of that. And it looks like another wave's approaching through, so we can actually move now while they're essentially not particularly... Well, there's not going to be another set of enemy reinforcements coming in, so we just have to defeat the guards of the landing zone, and we should be absolutely all set to take out what's left. I should hopefully defeat anything that's coming through there. No, 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 no! Okay. So we have at least defeated most of their forces. And it looks like this will allow us to, good, just build another town center just in case. And then I'll use the center area as my staging point. We'll build a dock there. And the plan is going to be just to get a few transports to run the gauntlet. That should hopefully allow us to get the troops that we need in position. Alright, so we should have every single angle that they're going to take set. Which means that once these guys are in position, I will actually move all of these troops, make sure that none of my two heroes are selected, which does not appear to be the case. Combine them with this set, and they are going to be my assault force. So it looks like the game did not give me one of the, which is okay for now actually, because I've got enough troops that I should be able to get at least 3 transports worth. And that means I'll be able to hopefully fully upgrade it. Good. If I can get 4 transports worth even, that would be great, because then that means so let's see how many transports we can fill up.
Roger that.
I might lose 1 or 2 in this, but
Cargo bay is locked. Standing by. Ready to go.
if they are actually able to get their
Cargo bay is locked. Ready to go. Roger that.
the troops deployed, and that means
Standing by.
I'll have enough men power to essentially take the planet or the moon,
Standing by.
Phobos specifically. I mean, with relatively little difficulty if I play my cards right. It looks like I should have just enough for 4 transports. So, yeah, I'll get those transports together. We'll get ready. And once more reinforcements start showing up, we'll be able to deploy them also.
Standing by.
Alright, so let's see if we can get all these dudes in.
Cargo bay locked.
Alright.
Ready to go. Roger that.
All we need is to get... So, if we can get all of the transports to drop their troops off, that is fantastic. Because that means that we'll have so many guys on the planet, or on the Phobos there, that we'll be able to just overwhelm them. We are going to want to, of course, prioritize taking out their artillery first. But once that's done, we will be able to just steamroll through, hopefully. And then that will open up the way to taking the moon itself. Alright, priority has to go to the artillery. We'll take out the artillery. Then we can take out the towers. It looks like once we take out these towers, the resistance should essentially crumble, meaning we did lose 1 transport, but that is a-okay right now because we have 4 left and we have enough resources to make do regardless. Okay. It's another one of these down, which means it'll now be possible to land without having to even deal with. Prioritizing the artillery really seems to have paid off. Soon we'll be able to just take out the capital, which means we've essentially secured Phobos. There we go. Now we have the resources we desperately need.
On to the moon. Our enemy does not respect us, so we must teach him to respect us.
Cool. Alright, so next up, we'll go ahead and get some more. We'll march north with these troops. We'll try to take out anything that's left. But while at it, I'll actually get some citizens. That's a problem. That was not as planned.
Awaiting orders.
We clearly need more assistance. Well, they did manage to slink around, I guess, but that which is unfortunate. But I do have a backup plan. That should give us 30 citizens once the fighting stops. Alright, so Phobos is definitely under our belt now.
Into the unknown. Fueled and ready. All hands to stations. Fueled and ready. All hands to stations.
Okay.
Cargo bay is locked.
Into the unknown. Fueled and ready. Into the unknown. Ready
We'll have this fleet go here. So he's doing it just along the... Good to know that he's essentially doing it. That's a huge problem.
Laying a course. Ready flight deck. Aye, aye, sir. Into the unknown. Fueled and ready.
All I was trying to do was land here too. That's unfortunate. But
Scanning area. General quarters. Captain to the bridge. Engage engines. All hands to stations. Captain to the bridge. All hands to stations. Ready. All hands to stations. Scanning area.
well, we did find one of the wormholes now. I do have a plan. We're going to build more of these defenses. This time we'll set them here and here. Should hopefully make it even harder for them to get past. And here too. So once we're fully healed up, we'll see just how many troops one of these transports can, or how many of these guys we actually have.
Sir, yes, sir. Standing by. Roger that.
How many citizens did I put down?
Standing by.
Oh well.
Fueled and ready. All hands cargo bay locked. Roger that.
So this should be enough to give us 2 capitals.
Roger that.
Yes, Commander. Ready, sir. Of course, sir.
Which means that Phobos itself will be... Oop. So they did send reinforcements. Go ahead and deal with these reinforcements. See. And they have a small fleet here, but that is fine as well. That, however,
Standing by.
I would have preferred... Is that... Yeah. Alright, so we'll build up this. That gives us some gold reserves. We'll be able to... Where's the iron? Here it is. So that'll give us a steady supply of iron as well. And the good news is, despite the fact we only have 2, or 1 of each right now, we can still populate these capitals as much as possible to give us the maximum benefit. So as soon as this is done, I'll just queue up 35 citizens for each of these.
Ready, sir.
We'll also get some more granaries. Actually, I could use these guys instead of having to build more citizens, so I will do that. This should give us tons of food to work with. And then whatever's left of these dudes, I'll just send them. Actually, I could just make another granary even. Because that should be 12 guys. Which means if I get another 4, I'll have enough for another improved granary. Perfect. I'll actually queue up 5 citizens just so I can get something else built, I guess. Additional docks, that sort of thing.
Ready, sir.
I cannot fail.
Yes, my
Ready, sir. Ready, sir.
So we should have enough for another attack force of some description. I think I will make it this group here. And their main goal is going to be to hit Mars. Or not Mars, the moon. So we'll build a hospital. Well, it will also get a, sorry if you can hear a boombox vehicle in the background. Alright, so now we can go ahead and build our monument. And also while at it, we can actually fully upgrade these guys. I think.
Waiting orders. Yes, Commander. Yes, Commander.
So now, every single reinforcement I get is going to be fully upgraded.
Ready, sir.
Meaning that the troops that we take onto Mars, or onto the moon, I mean, should be more than capable of doing the job.
Ready, sir. Affirmative.
Yep.
Cargo bay locked.
Yes, Commander.
Ready flight deck. All hands flight stations.
We need a lot more iron. But we might actually have a way to.
Then ready. Cargo bay locked.
Ready, sir.
Ready to go. Standing by.
Ready, sir.
Roger that.
Of course, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Cargo bay is locked. Ready to go.
If we can prioritize getting
Roger that.
transport, the artillery once again dealt with,
Of course, sir.
should be easy enough to just
Cargo bay is locked.
simply walk in and just, I hope, take the moon itself. So it looks like they've got another transport ship of some description there.
Ready. Engage engines.
Once the Wonder's built, we'll have more morale, which is excellent, and we can put a dock right next to it. Come on. There we go. And then, of course, place some AA guns, or space turrets, sorry, right next to that. Since these are farther away, we'll just do it like that.
Fueled and ready. Fire thruster.
Standing by.
Fueled and ready.
Ready, sir.
Ready to go. Standing by.
Good.
Fueled and ready.
All hands to station.
Fueled and ready.
Standing by. Roger that.
3 transports worth essentially should be capable of
Ready to go.
dropping in and just dealing with whatever is over there.
Captain to the bridge. Captain to the bridge. Engage engines.
So this ship is not healing from that. Unfortunate.
General quarters. Cargo bay locked.
Good news is, once we actually hit the ground running with Earth and take out whatever defenses they have left, should be simple enough to move in and take the capitals piecemeal. And you do have to capture them. Destroying them actually fails the mission. So make sure to avoid that at all costs. Which means I'm primarily going to actually be doing... actually taking Earth itself, mostly with grunt work. Okay, we'll take out all the artillery that they have, prioritize it. Oop, more artillery. I mean, even if this one attack does not work, we can always send in more guys. We'll just take out the tower. Oh, there is another artillery. Alright, so it looks like if we don't take this, it'll be so heavily damaged that we will on the next attack because of just how few of them. It looks like we might actually pull it off. That's pretty good, actually. So we should actually be able to deploy enough guys that we can get... Okay, so get rid of that group for now. We'll create a new group 7 or so.
Yes, Commander.
And that'll allow us to essentially make the final big push and successfully drive the rest of the way there.
Cargo bay is locked. Ready to go.
Awaiting order.
I actually want to hold off on destroying their capital just yet, because I do want to take out what's left of their defenses first. Plus, it'll give me more time to send in more reinforcements, which means it'll be easier. Okay, so we'll actually build a few capital ships if we can afford it, yes. And what we will do is we will actually deploy them to take out the dock on Earth, the space dock, which will prevent them from actually having... Oof. It'll prevent them from being able to send in more units to deal with us.
Ready, sir.
Roger that. Ready to go. Cargo bay is locked. Standing by. Roger that.
We'll just repair that real quick just to make extra sure. And then we can make our big push. That's hilarious. Okay.
Roger that. Cargo bay is locked. Ready to go. Captain to the bridge. Engage engine.
Okay. Once we have enough iron, we'll be able to build it up again. Both of these should be fully upgraded. Yes, they are.
Captain to the bridge. Captain to the bridge. Laying a course. Engage engines.
So these ships should hopefully be able to simply steamroll whatever's left of the enemy fleet. The town center set up too, we should be able to also set up some AA guns along with the additional reinforcements. Cool. Unfortunately, this does not improve the Yamato or the Yamato, but it does at least improve these guys, which is what I'm going to be relying on.
Standing by.
I actually better hurry up. Alrighty, so what I'll do is I'll just get one town center built here, I guess. Actually, wait. I better make sure that that is cleared of enemies.
Of course, sir.
Affirmative.
Let's go.
Okay, yep, as I feared. That would have been a very nasty situation for my dudes. Oh, there goes the moon's capital.
The Earth, my Khan, it lies before us.
Now the final step in the journey will be taken. Our opponent has underestimated our strength and resolve. We must not do the same.
So the good news is we should be completely capable of just steamrolling most of what's left at this point, if we play our cards right. At least I think so. Good. Just build a few AA guns just in case, because I know they like to send space fighters out around this time.
Waiting orders. Let's go.
So if we get the usual cluster of 4, that'll really just destroy anything that tries messing with us here. And then we can get this turned into a town center, then we can actually build a hospital. And that'll allow us to actually get the troops from here back to the Phobos base, combine them with the additional troops that we have.
Ready, sir. Ready, sir. Of course, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Can I assist? We are under attack.
Yep, here they come again. Well, I wasn't expecting it to go that badly. It's time to get these guys out of Dodge, though. Well, that goes my... Actually, I need to get these guys over here just so they can get the help that they need for my brand new cap.
Cargo bay is locked. General quarters. General quarters. Engage and cargo bay is locked.
Oh, we still have at least one stack of units left.
General quarters. Reinforce. Engage engine. Reinforce. Engage engine. Reinforce. Engage engines. Reinforce. Engage engine.
I don't actually think we need to hold the moon, we just need to actually...
Standing by. Roger that.
Ready, sir.
Standing by.
Ready to go.
Although I will do that just to be safe.
Of course, sir.
Standing by.
Yes, Commander.
Standing by. Roger that.
Yes, Commander.
Ready to go. Roger that. Ready to go.
Alright, that should be plenty of troops for the mission.
Ready to go. Into the unknown cargo bay is locked. General quarters.
We'll send our guys up here to engage and hopefully take out anything remaining.
Roger that. Ready to go.
Standing by.
Oh dear.
Affirmative.
That's going to be enough tanks and whatnot to make another group easily. That should be, with the rest of the troops here, that should be more than enough to hopefully take out all 3 capitals if I'm really lucky or something. We'll find out.
Cargo bay is locked. Into the unknown. General quarters. Bridge. All hands to station.
Still don't have enough iron, which is unfortunate, but we have more than enough gold.
It shall be so.
General quarters. Laying a course.
So there should be a group somewhere around here. Oh, it's right here actually.
General quarter course. Into the cargo bay is locked. Standing by. Ready to go.
Let's go. We are under attack.
General quarters.
Sir, yes, sir. Of course, sir. Of course, sir.
Affirmative.
You know, it just occurred to me how hilarious it is to have mortars actually managing to fire their shots into space turrets, which are supposed to be in the atmosphere. That is kind of hilarious to me, anyways. Okay. So this should be more than enough to go ahead and deal with anything that's left. Which means that once this is done, we'll be able to hopefully deal with any remaining resistance.
Of course, sir. Let's go.
Then we'll be able to attack the Earth itself proper.
Standing by. Ready to go.
In fact, this gives me a perfect opportunity. Set up here, just in case there's been any damage. We'll replenish.
Yes, Commander. Sir, yes, sir.
We'll be able to actually build a proper capital right next to that resource pile, which is good news.
Yes, Commander.
Send these guys back over to the hospital.
Standing by. Awaiting orders.
Can I assist?
Yes, Commander.
Standing by.
Alrighty.
Ready to go.
So here's going to be our main assault force once we deal with the docks and make sure that all the threats to these transports are dealt with.
Roger that. Cargo bay is locked. Standing by. Ready to
I
go.
cannot fail.
Roger that.
Good. Everything is ready.
Cargo bay is locked. General quarterage. Lay in a course.
We'll find the dock at the Earth space dock that's left, deal with it, and then we will actually be able to make our invasion. Now, like I said, we have to capture it, which means that we have to actually place the general right next to the capital to get it to surrender.
General quarters. Captain to the bridge.
Between the extra morale and everything else going on,
General quarters.
I think we've pretty much got this match in the bag.
All hands to station.
I might want to get the air support completely upgraded though, just in case.
Engines to full. Standing by. Captain to the bridge. Lay in a course. Engage engines. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Alright, so this is Earth itself. Now, actually, some of these guys can actually hit targets
In a course.
on the ground. That is great news.
Engage engines.
Okay, so we'll just destroy this, which is their only dock. That should mean that we should actually be able...
Quarters. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Okay, so we can destroy buildings, we just cannot destroy enemy units.
Course.
Still, that is excellent news because it means that we can just deal anything that is on this planetary surface here, building-wise. Which means we can at least clear out a few towers, make the job a little bit easier.
Lay in a course. Engage engines. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Okay, so that's been dealt with, so... Can they hit this? Yes, they can. So that's yet another target we can mark off the list. Oh, we're at PopCap. Okay.
Ready, plane. Quarterage. Engage engines. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Okay, so most of the Earth's surface has been dealt with, at least along the edge. Which I know is a little bit weird, but that's how they did it in this game, so. The good news is that it should be entirely possible to build up a base, get a hospital set up, all that good stuff.
Ready flight deck. All systems green. General quarters. Engage engines. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Okay, now that their surface vessels are... Now that their fleet is mostly dealt with at this point.
Engage engines. Lay in a course. Fueled and ready. Roger that. Fueled and ready. Area. General quarters. Engage engines. Lay in a course. Engage engines.
Alright, so that should be the entirety of their defenses dealt with.
Ready to go. All hands to station. Aye, aye, sir. Ready flight deck. Ability unknown. Cargo bay is locked. Ready to go.
I want the rest of the fleet in here just in case. It does look like there is another couple of enemy units to deal with, but nothing too severe. I think we are in actually a good position now.
Ready to go. Roger that. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Cargo bay is locked.
We'll build that, and we'll also get a hospital set up. We should be able to at least have the bases secured before we move in. Excellent.
Yes, Commander.
Affirmative.
Of course. Sir, yes, sir. Of course, sir. Affirmative. Of course, sir.
So this should hopefully prevent them from just attacking that next. Good.
I cannot fail.
Yes, my call.
This capital should be ours now.
Yes, Commander.
I cannot fail. As my ancestors will, it is my destiny.
We've captured one of the capitals, which means that we should repair it now.
Ready, sir.
Let's see what else. Ooh.
Let's go. Captain to the bridge. Lay in a course. Engage engines. Standing by.
Alright, so let's see what other defenses we can find.
It is my destiny.
Let's go.
Affirmative.
Let's go.
Ooh, a tank. Actually, I better fall back. Should be another Earth capital, I guess, further to the north. I mean, I have plenty of resources now, so I probably should actually get some industry going just in case. Alright, we are so close. All we have to do now is just take the... Ooh. So we'll make sure that there's no other surprises, and then we will move in and take this capital too.
Of course, sir.
Oh, there is more surprises over here. This is the third capital. Alright, so how many more of these guys are left? Can't be too many. Once this tower's done, we should move in, capture what's left, and that will be the end of the entire campaign and the game. Oh, that's a problem. There we go. No cutscene though. Okay, but we did win. Alright, so let's see how we did exactly. We did the best military. Phobos had the best economy. And we had the best society. Okay. Military. 789 units killed, 301 lost. We raised 71 buildings, we lost 15, and had an army size of 525. Had the most wonders at 1, most heroes at 6, most citizens at 83, and the highest research. Yep, this was a lengthy battle, but a fun one, actually. And we basically just started in the 15th epoch, so that's good. Although it looks like Port Chernobyl and Baker's Ridge did not. And yeah, alright. So, this has been Ace. Hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Ace out.